Senator John Cornyn cast his vote here in Austin. He also spoke about his support for Senator Cruz and former President Trump, as well as a major race that's coming up for him. Our Ryan Chandler had a chance to speak with him there at the polling site today. And what did the senior senator, I should say, from Texas have to say?
Well, of course, he expressed his support for former President Trump and Senator Cruz. Senator Cornyn is not on the ballot this year. He'll be up for re-election in 2026. But even this year, his political future could hinge on how these Senate races across the country go. After 22 years representing Texas in the Senate, he's now eyeing the top job, one of the most powerful spots in Washington. He wants to succeed Mitch McConnell as Senate Majority Leader. He's held leadership positions in the Senate for more than 2 decades. He was Majority Whip, which is the head vote counter. He's raised hundreds of millions of dollars for Republican campaigns across the country. So now he says he paid his dues and he wants to lead the upper chamber if Republicans can take the majority.
The map right now where the Senate races are happening this particular election year seems to favor the Republicans. It would take quite a bit for the Democrats to maintain control in the Senate there. But in that other Senate seat here in Texas, talk about what's happening these final few days between Ted Cruz and Colin Allred.
Yeah, this is one that Republicans absolutely need to hang on to if they're going to have any hope of regaining the majority in the Senate. So we've seen, of course, a whole lot of attention and millions of dollars being poured into this race. We know that it will likely go for Cruz, but that is not a foregone conclusion. Most polls have it within 3 to 5 points, with Cruz with a slight lead. But we've been talking to both of their campaigns today. They're both prepping for watch parties. Cruz will be in his hometown of Houston. Allred will be in his hometown up in Dallas, and we're going to have Cruz in both of those positions. I'll be down in Houston to follow the news from Cruz's watch party. Of course, they're preparing for a festive night, but you know what? Allred is too. So all eyes will be on this, not just in Texas, but across the country.
Yeah, we're a week away from the election, which almost seems hard to believe at this point how fast it's gone. But talk about what are some of the other races that you'll be watching closely come Tuesday.
Yeah, I think if you're a Texan and you're only considering voting in the presidential election, I think you're selling yourself short. Your vote is going to go a lot farther in the more local races, the races that will have more of a direct impact on your life. And we're seeing a lot of competitive races for the U.S. House, say, down in South Texas. One of the top races I'm watching there is between Monica de la Cruz and Michelle Vallejo.
Right.
This is a razor-tight race down in the Valley region, and is going to be incredibly important to watch. And then the Texas House. There's some very tight races up in the Dallas area. Republicans are expected to maintain control there, but Democrats keep shaving away the margins, and that's going to have a huge impact once we get into the Texas legislative session in January. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure to go all up and down the ballot. Don't stop until you're done, because there's races that are very important other than the presidency.
Listen to Ryan, everybody. Thank you so much again for joining us. We appreciate it, and
Thanks.
we'll look forward to Tuesday.
Yes, we will.
All right.